Most people, even those who fancy themselves astute observers, fundamentally misunderstand power. They look for it in the wrong places, always. They seek it in the glare of the spotlight, in the roar of the crowd, in the pronouncements from gilded pulpits. This common misconception is not accidental, it is meticulously cultivated. The spectacle, the noise, the visible authority, these are carefully constructed facades. They are designed to draw the eye, to occupy the mind, to distract from the true mechanisms at play. The illusion serves a vital purpose. It keeps the masses engaged in a chase for something that, even if attained, is merely a reflection. It ensures that their energies are expended on shadows, leaving the substance untouched. Real power, the kind that truly shapes destinies and alters the course of nations, operates in the shadows. It is unseen, unheard, and often, entirely unacknowledged by those it governs. It is a quiet force, rarely announcing its presence. Power, in its purest form, does not announce itself. It has no need for validation, no desire for public acclaim. It simply exists, a fundamental force, like gravity or time. The truly powerful are rarely the loudest voices in the room. They are often silent, observing, listening, and waiting. Their strength lies in their patience, their capacity to absorb and analyze without immediate reaction. When they do speak, it is not to debate or to persuade. Their words carry a finality, a weight that settles the matter. The discussion ends, not because of charisma, but because the underlying reality has been articulated. Power does not compete in the conventional sense. It does not vie for attention or resources in an open contest. Instead, it positions itself, subtly arranging the board, ensuring favorable conditions long before any game begins. Visibility is a profound liability for true power. To be seen is to invite scrutiny, to attract resistance, to become a target. The powerful understand that exposure diminishes their efficacy. Influence, the true currency of power, thrives in the unseen. It works through subtle adjustments, through the careful shaping of environments. Outcomes appear natural, inevitable, rather than orchestrated. Crowds are inherently fleeting and emotional. Their passions ignite quickly and extinguish just as fast, making them unreliable instruments for any lasting endeavor. Power, by contrast, demands patience, emotional restraint, and a profound distance from transient popular sentiment. Passion, while potent in the short term, burns itself out. Enduring power is built not on fervor, but on structure. It is embedded in systems, institutions, and frameworks that outlast any individual or movement. The architects of the future are not chosen by public applause or popular vote. They are selected by proximity to information, to capital, to the very infrastructure of society. Their influence is a function of their position, not their popularity. They sit near the levers of control, the sources of capital, and the conduits of critical information. Their access is their advantage, allowing them to shape the flow of resources and ideas. Influence flows through these established systems, through the intricate networks of finance, law, and governance. It is not conveyed through grand speeches or public declarations, but through the quiet manipulation of these channels. Power ultimately belongs to those who control access. Access to resources, to decision makers, and crucially, to timing. They dictate when doors open and when they close, when opportunities arise and when they vanish. Power is fundamentally about leverage, not brute strength. It is not about overwhelming an opponent with force, but about finding the precise point where minimal effort yields maximum impact. One well-placed decision, a single, carefully timed intervention, can outweigh a lifetime of strenuous effort. It is the difference between pushing a boulder uphill and finding the fulcrum to move it with ease. Direct control is often inefficient and creates unnecessary friction. It demands constant oversight and invites direct opposition. The truly powerful prefer to operate indirectly, shaping the conditions rather than dictating every action. Power shapes environments in such a way that certain outcomes become inevitable. It constructs the maze so that all paths lead to a predetermined destination, without ever needing to force anyone down a particular route. Force is an expensive tool, consuming vast resources and generating significant resistance. Influence, on the other hand, is remarkably efficient. It achieves its aims through persuasion, through alignment, through the subtle redirection of existing energies. The common misconception is that power requires domination, a forceful subjugation of others. This approach, however, is inherently flawed. It inevitably creates enemies, fostering resentment and resistance that will eventually erupt. True power prefers alignment. It seeks to create situations where others believe that the decisions being made are ultimately beneficial to them, even if the primary beneficiary is unseen. Resistance dissipates when individuals or groups perceive a mutual understanding of long-term advantage. When their interests, or what they believe to be their interests, are woven into the fabric of the powerful's agenda, opposition becomes illogical. Public authority, built on visible command and control, decays quickly. It is subject to the whims of public opinion, to challenges, and to the inevitable erosion of legitimacy. Influence, however, compounds over time, growing stronger the longer it remains unobserved. Power avoids attention precisely because attention invites challenge. To be seen is to be questioned, to be scrutinized, to be resisted. The invisible architects of power remain untouched, their work continuing unimpeded by public outcry. The operation of true power often appears remarkably boring to the uninitiated. It manifests not in dramatic pronouncements, but in the meticulous review of documents, in quiet, closed-door meetings, in the strategic acquisition of ownership, and in the relentless exercise of patience. It shapes reality quietly, without the need for exciting crowds or stirring speeches. Its impact is felt in the slow, almost imperceptible shift of policies, in the gradual redirection of resources, in the subtle redefinition of what is considered acceptable. Direction matters infinitely more than speed. A slow, consistent push in the right direction will always achieve more than frantic, misdirected activity. Mere business does not equate to impact. Silence is an extraordinarily powerful tool. It enables uninterrupted observation, allowing for the recognition of patterns that others miss. It fosters prediction, anticipating future trends and reactions. And ultimately, it facilitates control, by understanding the system better than anyone else. Silence also protects information, which is the ultimate leverage. In a world saturated with noise, the ability to hold and process critical data without revealing one's hand is an unparalleled advantage. Power is inherently selective, it cannot afford the luxury of emotional attachment to everyone. To maintain its trajectory, it must discriminate, not out of cruelty, but out of a clear-eyed understanding of its long-term vision. It demands discrimination in its purest sense, the ability to discern, to differentiate, to make precise judgments about what serves the overarching objective. Sentimentality is an expensive indulgence that power simply cannot afford. Precision is paramount. Every decision, every action, every word must be weighed for its exact impact. There is no room for ambiguity or emotional impulse when shaping the future. The pursuit and maintenance of power inevitably cost relationships. It creates a structural distance from those who cannot comprehend its demands, who operate on different timelines and with different priorities. It fundamentally changes what one cares about. The focus shifts from the immediate gratification of days or weeks to the enduring impact of decades, even centuries. Personal concerns recede before the grander design. Real power has no need for applause, no interest in fleeting trends, and no announced milestones. Its only traces are found in the outcomes it produces, in the world it quietly, inexorably shapes. Power does not ask for permission. It operates by studying the existing system, identifying its constraints, and then exploiting the gaps in its rules. It finds the paths of least resistance, or creates them where none existed. The pursuit of power involves a deep, almost obsessive study of the system itself. It means understanding its vulnerabilities, its dependencies, and its true levers. Then, it's about positioning oneself within that system, not at its visible apex, but at its critical junctures. It is about influencing the system's direction from within, subtly guiding its evolution. It's a slow, deliberate process of making alternative paths disappear, one by one, until only one outcome, the desired outcome, remains viable. To truly seek power, one must abandon the pursuit of recognition. Recognition is a distraction, a lure for those who crave validation. Instead, seek positioning, seek leverage, and cultivate an almost infinite patience. Power ultimately belongs to those willing to wait. To observe without acting, to gather information without revealing intent. And then, to act only when action is unavoidable, when the moment is perfectly ripe, and the outcome is all but assured.